Well, we arrive in Albania, so yeah, deep in Balkans, deep in Europe. We're going now in ex-Soviet countries. No, sorry, not ex-Soviet, ex-Yugoslavian countries, which was kind of interesting, a bridge between the east and the west, the Yugoslavia. So we're gonna see what's left after them. Let's see. And this is the whole region gonna make it. So it's gonna be what they used to be, and of course they have the war, and now how well things are going there in the ex Yugoslavian countries. So yeah, let's dive deep in Albania. But first we're gonna look at some numbers and then deep dive. I want to see the only numbers I want to check now is the population, which is 2.7 million people, as you can see, and it feels like again they kind of go down. So yeah, a trend that we see it in these Balkans and in Eastern Europe. So not exactly new. But let's see how well it is there, how nice they are, how great the landscape are, how the civilization is doing. So yeah, we're gonna start here in the south, let's say, where else we can find it, right here. They have a nice opening to the sea, which it could have some really nice landscape there, but let's check the mountains first. That's a cave right there, looking pretty good. Yeah, it's nice. I don't see garbage even here. Looks pretty good. I mean, Albania is one of those countries that you're not gonna think about them as a tourist destination or something like that at first, obviously. But things are not so bad so far there. So they have a really nice landscape so far. Roads pretty good this one, but I had some others images from. I mean, like I remember when Top Gear goes there and they have like 50% of the car Mercedes, and the roads wasn't so great. So we're gonna see if that changed by now. I mean, the interesting fact it is here, do you really need European Union to save your country, or you can save it yourself? It's just a matter of time. We will see how much that matters. It matters, obviously, but interesting how much. That's an Audi, not a Mercedes, by the way. Yeah, roads here, pretty decent, I would say. Housing, remind me a bit of the Greece. Yeah, that's a Mercedes. And some extension a bit Cyprus, I would say, but it looks pretty good. I mean, clearly it's it's not one of those rich areas, but this is from 2016, so 10 years ago almost, and doesn't look so bad. I mean, it's far away from being great. Obviously, I'm not gonna try to minimize what's happening here, but it's decent to be honest. Yeah, what else can we see here? The landscape is pretty nice. Look at those mountains, looks pretty nice. The weather, this is from June. Okay, pretty good that too. Yeah, a lot of things to improve here. It's like a small towns here, so nothing extreme, but again, it shows even in those small areas how things are going. And I don't have high expectation in the urban area, to be honest with you. I just have high expectation in the landscape. Urban area, yeah, not so much. Pretty big buildings here. I'm not sure exactly where they are. Apartment buildings, they're housing. What is that? The roads look pretty decent so far. Yeah, this garbage here doesn't look so great. Yeah, it's a lot of Greece influence for sure here. I mean, we are close to the border. Hope we are still in Albania, right? I mean, just let me check, zoom out a bit. Yeah. Well, let's go on the beach. Let's see if things improve there. And yeah, it is nice. I mean, look at this water. Oof. I'm trying to. Oh. It's nice to have a house, a nice house. But you don't have the environment and the landscape around you great. It's not gonna do that much. So I'm trying to figure out if you need, or what exactly it's more appealing, to have a nice house in a bad area or decent area, or have a decent or even bad house in a great area like this. I mean, look at this, the water. Just go here on the beach. Look at this. Go on these small islands, and your life is changing. I mean, it already looked 10 times better than a lot that we see. And yeah. I mean, look at the water here. That's a Volkswagen. Yeah, the garbage here, that's a population problem, and this one the same. But look at the water, it's just I'm not sure where it starts and where it ends, the water. It's just clear, crystal clear. Which, yeah, they have something. They have something here that is missing in a lot of European countries, I would say. So the fact that they have opening to the sea, I'm not sure exactly what sea is this one. I think it's Mediterranean or Ionic Sea. But looking pretty good. This is from 2025, so very recently. Yeah, still they have Mercedes, but they kind of diversify a bit with the Skoda and Renault back there, I guess, and a Volkswagen. So yeah, things improve. This house, well, it's a terrace, a bar. I'm not sure exactly. Looking pretty good though. The view, nice as always. This is again June, so full summer. They don't have paved roads. I mean, they tried to pave something probably at some point here that didn't successfully go through. But yeah, it's usable, let's say like that. It could be much better for sure, but what they have now, I mean, when I was in Greece, I see roads like this and it was fine. So not exactly a deal breaker, I would say, but the sea, the opening, the landscape here, I mean, do you need Caribbean? Do you need Bahamas? Do you need all of that? Do you want to travel that far when you can actually go around the corner in Europe and have something like this? Nah, this beach is a bit crowded for me, but looking great. Let's check this one. I mean, with those videos, like I said, I can stay here for hours and hours. Looking pretty good. I see some housing here. Yeah, those are new properties here. They're like very expensive, as you can see by the satellite images. I'm not sure about those guys. Looks like a Tony Stark house to me. It is probably it's gonna be very expensive here, but it does look nice, I have to say. I'm not sure if they have private beach or whatever like that, but it seems like a closed beach there. Let's check them from above. Yeah, that's a huge house. I mean, look at this one, and they're still building, by the way. They are clearly built by one developer because all of those are the same, and maybe this one is from the owner of the company. I'm not sure, but yeah, and they have something else building there. The water here, I mean, the landscape, it's absolutely great. I mean, we just scratched the surface in this country, and you don't even see the mountains, for God's sake, and already by the sea, you just want to move there. Yeah, deep in a country, still looking great. I mean, I didn't expect to see something like that in Albania, to be honest. We're gonna look at the economics, how they're doing there, but I'm guessing not so well. But landscape-wise and with not that much population, they already are much better in real life, let's say, not on the paper. Like I said, it's always a huge difference between real life and what's on the paper. Let me check the border again. Wow, that's not exactly a small country either. They have an opening to the lake there. I think they have some really big mountains here. I mean, not huge, but let's check the elevation from this one, which is almost half of that. Oh, it's not from above. Almost 2,000 meters. Okay, it's pretty high, and it looks very nice. So you can shoot some movies here. Albania, it's an interesting one. It really does. Let's check the roads. Let's see how well they're doing in this department. Yeah, this is definitely a new one. This is 2025, and yeah, it's just perfect, for God's sake. Nothing you can say about. Nothing to complain. It's impeccable, but it's a brand new road, so yeah, probably this one is the old one. Let's check this one. Even this one is pretty decent, and clearly they didn't get much finance because they have the new one, but looking very well in the mountains here. The landscape, like I said, those countries has great landscapes. I mean, it is something. The question is, everybody says that the Balkans are not that great. Yeah, economically, they're pretty much all of them fucked up. But living there in the real life, having those landscape to admire every day when you go to work or go home, compare with, I don't know, suburb of Paris or some other fucked up European capitals, big ones with big names, let's say, not so great, I would say. This one, okay, that's a general store for something in a small village, not great either. Not sure it's the differences between the south part of the country or north part of the country, if they have that. But we're gonna see that in a moment. I mean, this is the regular people, how they live. So here we don't have paved road. This is 2016 again. Okay, maybe changed by now. We're gonna check some satellite footage. What I don't like it. What I don't like it is they're living jamming together. They have unfinished houses, which is kind of weird, but not so bad design, I would say. It's decent. Okay, you can improve it, but yeah, not so great. In this one, clearly they build a lot very quickly. Here they have paved roads, which is good. This one is way too big. Not big a fan of that. Again, this is 2016, and I'm not sure from the satellite images. Yeah, I don't think they have paved roads, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure, so I'm not gonna say anything bad to say about that. But clearly, there are brand new neighborhoods. Let's call it like that. And this one is the old ones. Let's see if here it's better. I can see much more room between the houses, but not a big fan how of the aesthetic of the town, of the city. They have a huge hole there. Yeah, unfinished houses. Not exactly what I want to see. The good news for them is they have a small population. They can change that back, like in a few decades. Could be totally unrecognizable, but I'm not sure exactly if they can do it. But having a landscape like that, having the land in that great area, it kind of motivates you, I would say, to build better instantly. So yeah, depends a lot of economic factors, but also availability of materials and all that stuff. It's gonna play a huge role, and also demographic. This looks like something from the Latin American, to be honest. Cables everywhere. Those apartment buildings, whatever they are, doesn't look so great either. A bit of the garbage here, so yeah, clearly not a good area. I mean, comparing with which one to live on that, even in that mountains, or by the sea, or here. And keep in mind, this is also close to the sea. I mean, you're living like not so great area, and then we go here on this beach. Let's see how nice it is here. Pretty decent. They have some garbage here, not so great compared with what we saw in other. So you can see mountains and landscape do pretty well. Wanna check this one, but I don't have right on the beach a 360. Oh, we have one here. Let's check this one. How well they looking? Pretty good. Not the greatest photos, but pretty decent. So yeah, it's about where you exactly are located, like everyone else. Where exactly do you live? How do you live? Still, 2 million people. Wow, we got from inside the company here. I'm not interested in that. I want to see the streets. And they have a lot of street views and 360, so that's a good thing. That's Mercedes. So I don't see that many as I expected, but they have quite a few. Yeah, those apartment buildings feels like Eastern Europe, feels like communism to me. Yeah, nothing to be proud of this one. Nothing to be prouder. And we start to see a lot of Mercedes here in this area. Wow, you can go with the car through the building. Okay. Don't see that every day. Yeah, doesn't look great here. Those apartment buildings always look fucked up. No matter how much you try to make them look better, no, you can't. The only solution you have to demolish them, and that's it. What else can you find? I think we have some sort of a monument there, but I didn't see it from that well. But yeah, from above, nice mountains, nice area. You can see the monument here. In the mountains, I would say, looking pretty well. On the sea, even better when you have the right sea also. But yeah, they have a huge potential to have a nice life there, but just stay away from the cities. That's pretty much the general rule. Even here, wow, that's a huge cave. Wow. Stay away from big cities. That's, like I say, pretty much available for any country. Not a good way of life, I would say. Here, yeah, very developed, of course, developed areas, the same story. You need to have some minimum of development, but not a huge one, otherwise you're not gonna end up that well. Let's check those mountains. Seems to be pretty high, probably the highest in a country, I will assume. Let's see how they... Wow, that's pretty nice. How they manage these areas. Looking pretty good. I mean, a small vibe, I would say, of the Alps. Maybe let's check a bit more from Austria, but I'm not sure exactly, so I'm not gonna jump to the conclusion. But they have one of those horses. Yeah, I'm not gonna travel on that wild animal. Yeah, looking pretty good. I mean, the vegetation is nice, landscape is very nice. Looking pretty good. Even in the mountains. Not so bad at all. They're doing very well in some areas of the mountains and they're doing very well in some areas on the sea. This is 2,660 meters. I'm not sure if it's the highest point, but pretty high. They're doing very well here. Yeah, probably the same story. Like I said, stay away from big cities unless you are super rich, can afford the best area with the best house, not even an apartment. I don't care how rich you are. I don't care if you're living in the middle of Manhattan in New York. If you pay 150 million on an apartment, it's just, yeah, if you buy the whole building, that's a different story. But if you have an apartment and you have common walls with your neighbor, you're not that rich, or at least you just buy that for investment and you're not exactly staying there every day of your life, so it doesn't count. Yeah, rich people live usually in houses, not apartments, no matter how luxury they can be. If you're really rich, you're living in a house with a huge land. What is going on there? Someone staying in that tent. Yeah, looking nice overall, so I can see not that much to complain. The only thing that's really interesting is this south part here that seems to do a bit better in the sea landscape, let's call it like that. And they have those islands, which is pretty interesting. Yeah, clearly they can improve way beyond what they have. I'm not sure exactly how they're gonna do that, but I mean, look at those nice golfs that they have here. They have some sort of a fishing industry or whatever they're having there. And some areas, some those nice bay small areas. I mean, look at this. I know it's edited and it's not exactly that green, but I edit photos that I make on the shoreline, so I can say that there is something there that looks pretty good to pop up those details. So yeah, they're doing very well in that part here. I mean, look at this. That's a great way to stay there. Yeah, they have some really nice areas. I'm not sure exactly. We're gonna look again at the numbers, how they economic wise, how they doing. Yeah, they have some others pretty much opening to the same sea that doesn't look the same. They don't have the same appealing like this one. Not so so much appealing that we saw with others. They have also some villages that they don't have that much 360s, and this one for street views. This one is pretty developed, I would say. Look at those buildings. The pavement is pretty good, and this is 2016, by the way, so just 10 years ago. Yeah, I don't like those buildings. Again, if you watch this channel for a while, you know I do not, no matter what, appreciate an apartment building comparing with a house not even close. Yeah, clearly they start to pave roads here in 2016, so by now definitely look at this, they're finished. Doesn't look like a huge city, but people seem to do pretty decent there, I would say. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly how much work you're gonna find in this part. So probably for those countries, I would say, and pretty nice policy would be like really low taxes and really low bureaucracy, so you can actually open your own business and be self employed. Otherwise, you're gonna struggle probably to find jobs there and try to push forward, I guess, for new technologies and new products, so you can actually have some sales outside of the country. Yeah, otherwise looking pretty good. Pretty good so far. Let's go with the numbers. Yeah, mountains, very nice. That area there in the south of the country, close to the Greece border, looking very well in the landscape wise. So yeah, we start pretty good in these ex-Yugoslavian countries. So population, like I say, 2.7 million, and it seems like they're going down. So watch this. Back in 1955, 1.4 million people in this region, with 2.6 increase rate back then. That'll be roughly around 34,000 people. Migration, even back then, was around 6,000, 7,000 on plus. Pretty good. Median age, 20 years old, so very young. It's kind of insane when you think back then how young people used to be, and now how fast that goes down, which is pretty much goes high with the population. They got much older, and it's available for every country pretty much. Fertility rate, wow, 6.5, that's insane. Density, 52 people per square kilometers. Urban population, 26%, and that'll be roughly 381,000 to manage, so it's not going to be an easy task. Fast forward to 2025, look at this population, 2.7 million people, so almost double. Yearly change minus 0.73%, and they got on the minus since 1995. Yeah, pretty tough, I would say. And now it's minus 20,000, and at some point, look at this, they have like the last years that have the growth was around plus 50,000, and they'd go pretty much 5 years later in minus, which is pretty much no transition. Yeah, they have the I'm not sure exactly what exactly the war was the most affected in those areas. Usually, like I say, because that was a big country. You have areas that got bumped more than others and stuff like that. So I'm not sure exactly how much Albania was affected and how many regions also. But yeah, you can see it in the numbers. They took a pretty heavy hit there, I would say. Median age 37 years old. Again, almost double again. Fertility rate 1.3. Wow, they got really low, really fast from 6.4 like 1.3. That's wild. They got below replacement in 2005, so I would say pretty recently. But yeah, they don't show signs of recovery. They just go deeper and deeper in low fertility, which is fine, I guess. Like I say, I still believe that we are way too many people on this planet. So yeah, we just need to transition to an economy that's, for now, at least for the next 100, 200 years, favors a lowering population than just infinite growth, which is clearly doesn't work anymore. Urban population right now, and density is 101 people per square kilometers, which is a lot. It's 100 more than it used to be, than it's supposed to be. Urban population 70% with 1.9 million to manage. That's pretty high numbers. But watch this, by 2050 forecast, population again is going to go down the same trend, even a bit more accelerated in the percentage. 2.2 million people by 2050, probably is going to be under 2 million. I'm not sure exactly, but we're going to see that. So they're going to go back to the level of the 1965, 70. Minus 0.96, almost minus 1% per year decrease in population. That will be roughly around 22,000 people, which is not a huge numbers, but the percentage is growing. Migration minus 7,500, around that number. So that goes down too, they forecasted, but we're gonna see how that is gonna end. Median age 51. Wow, pretty old, I would say. Fertility rate 1.4. Yeah, some minor gains there, I would say, but again, it's forecast. We don't know exactly how that is gonna be. Density, that's a pretty decent change, I would say. Look at this, 82 people per the square kilometers, back to the 1970s level, and probably that's gonna be even lower, so back to the 1960s level. We're gonna see. Then like I say, urban population 93% with 2 million people to manage, so almost exclusive in the urban area. But again, those urban areas depends how you categorize them. What is urban today, what is not urban today, it will be tomorrow. So yeah, it's not exactly a real, let's say, moving people to the urban area. It's more likely the urban area came to the people, I would say. Albania demographic, okay, life expectancy, it's extremely high here. It's 80 years old. Females 81, almost 82. Males 78. Wow, very close to females. That's insane numbers. Infant mortality rate 6.9, and death under age of 5 8.1. Pretty huge number, I would say, for European countries, but they go down. So yeah, we're gonna see where that's gonna land. Demographic pyramids here. Doesn't look at all as a pyramid. It just not exactly a solid base. There's huge mere surplus in population by the age of 30, 32, around that, 31, and then they go in a huge, pretty significant female surplus population. Yeah, pretty interesting number, especially this one from 0 to 12, I would say 14. Pretty decent male surplus population there. Interesting. Let's see the economic wise. Let's see how they're doing. Well, they see all of the green, so they're doing pretty well, I guess. Not even sure European. Albania is not in European Union, right? I mean, they have some trade organization, but definitely they are not in. I don't remember. Hopefully, I'm not mistaken, but I don't think they're European Union. Let's check the numbers, although. GDP nominal 29 billion US dollars, which is pretty much nothing, and PPP around 68 billion US dollars. The growing rate, it's like I say, pretty small comparing with such a small economy. 3.9, 4, 3.8, 3.5, 3.5. Yeah, you can in the politics you can say you have much growth than European countries, but it's still a small economy. And per capita it's around 11,000 US dollars, and PPP around 23,000 US dollars. So yeah, it's very small. Agriculture, it's 18%, industry 21%, and services 47% by the year of 2022. Inflation, that's pretty good for them, 1.9% in February 2025. But again, those numbers can be disturbed because it's just February 2025. How much it was for the whole year? How much it was in 2024? How much was in 2023, and so on? Because there is a difference. If you have every year 2%, and yeah, let's say the wages doesn't keep up, which usually they don't, you end up working more for less and afford less. So that's a problem that we have here in Europe and even in the Western world. And not that many are willing to talk about it. They just like to say the inflation got down from 10% to 2%. Yeah, it's still inflation. It didn't cancel the other 10%. It just now I have 2% on the top of the 10% that I have last year. So I don't see my wage growing by 12% from the last year. So you see the point. It just doesn't make sense to brag about you got the inflation down. Yeah, you need deflation to show me that I get back the purchasing power, but you're not gonna see that from different reasons. Yeah. They export a lot to EU, which is, I guess, pretty good for them. They import a lot from EU, so again, it's pretty decent. So, yeah, economic-wise, pretty bad, I would say. Not so well, but in the same time, again, have those landscape. You can just go there and forget about everything. They have that escape. I have to say, they have that escape, and the population not being a huge amount. Again, another advantages. Corruption. Well, judging by this map, I already can see not exactly higher corruption than the rest of the region. So let's check them anyway. Albania, 42 points, and they got up 18 points. Wow, they make some real progress. I think this is the biggest one. Almost the biggest progress that we saw in the world. I don't know why it's okay here. So yeah, maybe things are actually getting really good there. But again, you're not gonna see those in everyday lives that soon. What else do they have here? Official language is Albanian. Yeah, minorities Greece, obviously Macedonians. What's interesting here? Religion is 50% Islam. Doesn't seem like that from what I see there. Just 16% Christian and 17% no religion, I guess. Religion. And 15% undeclared. Wow, that's a pretty huge number. And 15% undeclared. Oh. Yeah, otherwise they're doing pretty decent. It doesn't feel like 50% Muslim population there from what I saw, at least from those street views. Again, I didn't go that much in detail because we can stay hours to make those videos and nobody's gonna watch it anyway. So not exactly a huge, great investment of time. But we got some pics how things are going there, and I have to say they're looking pretty good. I mean, look at those pictures. If you find those areas, a nice vacation there, which is probably going to be much cheaper than going in Bahamas, for example, and much faster. it actually could be worth it to have pretty nice and real vacation here in this part of Europe. And this is the first country that we look at. That's pretty nice highway. We have a lot of them that we can check in this Yugoslavian space. So yeah, things can do even better in this region, especially with Croatia and Slovenia also. Like, we're gonna see some really nice things going on there. So yeah, but Albania, it could be a good starting point if the price is right for a vacation in those nice parts, even in the mountains or in these ones in the south part here. It could be something for the people that are living there. Yeah, they have a lot to catch up, and I'm not sure exactly how they do it. But again, that catch up with the West, let's say, doesn't have to be one-to-one in economics. It could be one-to-one much faster in the lifestyle, how people living there, because in the West, they already see them. Like, yeah, they have their espressos machines, they have their brand new cars and designer clothes or whatever they're buying there, they're doing there, but the fabric of the life, I think, is pretty damaging there in this Western Europe. You can afford the house, you can afford the family, you can afford having a peace of mind even there. They brag about the social system that they have, but that's a brink of collapse. The deficits there, it's absolutely insane. And migration, don't even get me started on that. The culture world that they have there is just, it feels like you don't have peace if you're living in those times there. So probably a peace of mind, going slow with the life, even though we don't have, let's say, the same economic power. It could be actually better in some cases. So yeah, Albania probably should go more likely in that direction and let the economy just slowing advance, but make sure the day-to-day life, it's very affordable and pretty nice place to live. That would be a much bigger win, I would say, than any huge GDP growth and trying to compete with the West, because let's face it, they're not on the same level. The West has many more years advance, and we can talk about this along a lot. So yeah, that was Albania. If you're living in this country and see this video, just leave a comment, say how things are there. On the first view, they seem to do pretty decent. Yeah, Greece definitely is gonna do better on the economic part, but landscape-wise, pretty nice. I seem that they do some improvement in the roads, so that show us that oh, look at this Mercedes. Without European Union, you can still, I mean, Albania is not the European Union. Let me check that. I'm gonna screw this up, but I don't think they are. Oh, it's EU candidate, yeah, for sure. I mean, like, do you want to be now in the European Union with everything that's happening there? I don't think it's going to be a huge improvement. If they realize that much without them, it would be a mistake to just join in now. It's just, for what? For some money and everything else getting destroyed? I don't think it's worth it, but yeah, I guess it's going to be a political decision at some point. Otherwise, they're looking pretty good, yeah. Definitely some improvement, like I say, even in the infrastructure. I see them pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. Not that many people in the country, so they're not gonna take that much toll on the infrastructure. So things, it would be pretty good. So yeah, if you're living there, leave a comment, say how things are really up there. But especially if you're one of those people that travels, but still they are living in Albania, but you travel a bit outside. What is your opinion about, let's say, when you travel to France, to Germany, Spain? Definitely there are going to be things that you want to take in from there and see them in your country improve, but in the same time, what's happening right now is going to be a lot that you don't want. So it's interesting to see which one is which. So yeah, check the other videos that I make, and see you next time.